Hey, Sean, this is a smoother start than many of these have been in quite some time. It's been an exciting few weeks, and I've taken classes. I've taken a lot of classes. Notably, today I took an acrylic painting class, and I was going to bring down my painting to show you. I painted an apple, and now I really regret that I forgot to bring it down. But I also took a dance class a couple of weeks ago, and that's the one that really changed me in a genuine way. And so for the holidays, what I asked for when people asked what gifts to get me, when my wife said, "What would you like?" I said, "Classes." And I didn't know why, but of everything I could think of, I was like, I want class. I want to learn something. I want to do something. I want to paint. And so I've been painting. I've shared a little bit of that on the channel, but I've just been making it up. And I knew I wanted to take a painting class, and she got me a painting class, an acrylic painting class for beginners. And she also got me a dance class for my birthday, which I really love the idea of, but the place she got me the dance class for, my birthday's in the end of September, then they stopped having classes for October, November, December. So I had to wait till January. But I did this contemporary dance class, and I don't know if I've talked about this on the channel since then, but I've been excited to. But suffice it to say, when I've been painting, I love painting. I love having painted. When I look at a painting that I've done, one that I like, it's exciting to me. I look at it and I'm like, that's cool. I made that. That's exciting. Just like a video. When I make a video, I look at it, I'm like, this is cool. I'm glad I did this. Dance was different because I went into this dance class. I was one of 5 students. Stand by, because I think there's video evidence online that I need to find. But in this dance class, I went in. It was a contemporary dance class. I was one of 5 students, and there were 2 instructors. And this isn't a criticism of them, but one thing I would have expected, with only 5 students, and it was an hour-and-a-half long class, so it's not like it was rushed, but we never did introductions. And so as people, like, I got there and people were stretching. I'm like, okay, I'll stretch. And so I started stretching, and then we did these warm-ups. We're going, and they started using this language of like, hey, we're going to go across and do grand pliés on 5 and 8 and whatever. And I sort of figured out what they were talking about, but it was mostly watching someone else next to me, one of these other dancers, do it, and then doing that. And remember that for a moment, because that's the other big takeaway. But after these warm-ups, then they were like, all right, freestyle for a minute, everyone. And they turned on the music and they said, use all the space and freestyle. And I did. And I don't know what you're like. I don't know who you are, but I was somebody who had never taken a dance class and never really danced in any organized, official way. And to dance around the room was tough. Not technically, although yes. But the strange thing is, in a group of other people who do this, these other people were clearly dancers, and I'm the odd person out. I was like, it's a contemporary dance class, like with my movement, am I being sarcastic? Am I mocking them with my motion? What is the motion that is too much? It's like, okay, Sean, you're making fun of these people. Or on the other side of it, what is the motion where it's like, Sean, you gotta try. Like, I'm skipping around. Like, you're not dancing, you're skipping, you're not taking it seriously. And finding that spot took an epiphany for me of realizing that no one cared about me. And that I was so concerned about this dance class of, well, I don't want them to think I'm mocking them. I don't want them to think I'm not taking it seriously. I want them to think I'm a good dancer, that I'm I put all this pressure on myself for no reason. It was pointless to have done that. And that clicked really quickly for me. I was glad that sort of in the middle of this freestyle thing, I just started having fun and just feeling it. And people, skeptics, critics could have stood on the sidelines and been like, that dude sucks. But those people weren't there, because those people don't really exist and don't really go to things like this. They exist in the YouTube comments, hi. But not in real life. And it was liberating to start to come into that a little bit. And then the other big takeaway at the end of it, I did the dance, I stuck with it. I in spite of not knowing the language, I kept up with it. And toward the end, I introduced myself to somebody, one of the other dancers, and she was like, "This is my first class. I've never done anything like this." And I was like, "What?" I assumed, and she's like, "This is your first class?" It's like, "Yeah." And it dawned on me that part of going into something like this is you have a tendency to think that you're the only one who doesn't know anything. And it didn't take long for me to extrapolate the metaphor here, but also to see, not just the metaphor, but when I hire people, when I'm doing video production and I have newer people on set, I forget what it's like to not know. And Dane, if you're still here watching, I remember my first gig on February 5th, 2018 with you, and you were like, "Hey, grab me a pony." And I had to walk away and think really hard about what a pony was. And if you don't know what a pony is, what Dane meant when he said pony was a clamp, like an A clamp. I don't have any right here, but just a clamp to hold stuff. That's a pony. And then a stinger is an extension cord. And I felt so dumb that day because I didn't know anything, and I had to ask, like, what's a stinger? And they're like, "Oh, it's an extension cord." And it was humiliating, or not humiliating, but humbling to be there that day and to remember that. And because I had been doing video before that, but I did it in my little one-man production where I didn't learn other people's lingo. And going back to this dance class was a reminder of how it feels to be that fish out of water. And it added the perspective to me to say, when I'm filming with people, to not only be patient, but also make space for, like, by the way, I'm going to use some terms that I've been using. Some of them are probably industry standard terms. Some of them I've made up. My favorite one that I've made up is the big pop-up reflectors. The little thing that goes over that, I like to call that the pajamas. So, like, it's just the diffuser, but then if you, like, put the silver wrap on it, like, hey, take the pajamas off that thing. I don't know if anyone else says that. I say that, and the people that I work with have come to understand what we're talking about, and now we say pajamas. So to make space for people to not know, and for it to be a comfortable place to not know, is important. But then as a challenge to all of us, taking the time to be a beginner somewhere, taking the time to suck at something, to start over at something, to have no experience, is a powerful thing to remind yourself to do regularly. And that's why I wanted to do these classes, because I do the same thing. I've been making videos for 15 years. I've been doing the things. I've been playing Ultimate Frisbee for 20 years. I've been doing all these things for so long. I seldom do something new. And so I'm seldom privy to that experience of what is it like to not know anything and to feel like everyone else knows it and you don't. And it's an important thing for you to grow and to remind yourself to keep doing that, because that also helps you learn to change your mind and learn to have a discussion and be open to new ideas. But it also lets you be more empathetic to other people who are in that situation. And so that's what I'm enjoying. And with painting, it's similar, where I don't have real experience. I have what I've thrown on canvases, which I've enjoyed, but I don't have any technical knowledge of what I'm doing. I've just made it up and watched like 2 YouTube videos. And so doing this, again, painting is more rewarding to me. I've liked this, and I liked what I made today. But this process of being a beginner and asking, like today I asked in the class, and it took something in me to ask, to say, how, like, I got my paints, I knew what I was supposed to paint, but like when I went to put the paint on the canvas, it's like, how hard do I push? With this acrylic paint, do I want to do like one steady bold line? Do I want to like lightly, shade it over, like, or do I want to do one, like, what is the right method? And getting some answers on that was awesome. And I only was able to do that because of my experience in the dance class and my experience as a professional working with new people and having been a new person. And still, I step onto some sets and I still feel all of that fish out of waterness of, I don't speak this language, especially on big sets with directors of photography and first ACs. I don't live in that world. They speak a different language. I do video, but it's intimidating. It's intimidating to do that, even if the people aren't intimidating. Even if everybody's nice, it's an intimidating situation to be in. And doing classes is a fun way to try something new, which can have cascading impacts across your other disciplines. But it's also a reminder of how to treat other people when they're trying new things and how to treat yourself when you're trying new things. And to remind yourself that you have the agency to advocate for yourself and to say, yeah, I don't know what a pony is, and I know that if I ask what a pony is, I may feel silly for that long, but I'm really quickly going to learn something and be better at what I'm doing. And the more questions I ask and the more people I work with who are friendly and understanding, the better everything is and the better I am and the better experience that I have. And so the last thing I'll say with all this stuff with classes, what's been profound to me, and I made a few videos this series that has like no views, which is great. But it's these creative exercises. I didn't know what to call it, but like the first one was do a painting, draw a face, write a children's book, do these little things. And from all of this, I'm pulling these things that are applying to video production and to what I'm trying to do, and especially production with the kids show, which is something completely different than what I've done before, where the audience is somebody that I don't understand. It's a kid. And so I'm speculating, and something that I like in the edit wouldn't work as well for a kid. And that humility to say like, oh, this is how quick that should, this is the pace that feels good at. For all my other clients, for adults, sure, everything changes, and reminding myself that I'm not always right. My experience might lead me in the wrong direction, and it's okay to ask questions, to try things, and to collaborate with other people and put my expertise aside. It can make a much better final project. And so with all of these things, with any class that you may take, a cooking class, whatever, you can find things that apply to your discipline really easily if you just take a moment to look. So that's why I'm taking classes, and that's why I think you should take a class of whatever. Take a pottery class, a painting class, an art class, a cooking class, a woodworking class, a sewing class. That's next on my list. Is I want to actually learn how to sew together a shirt. And I've found some places that do sewing classes, and so that's coming up for me sometime this spring too. But that's all I got. Do something, learn something, expand yourself a little bit, forgive yourself and forgive other people as we're all learning together. It can be really fun if we take our egos out of it and just enjoy the process. That's all I got. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day or night or whatever, wherever. See you later. Bye.